all, I'm Aishwarya and I'm currently pursuing my MBA from School of Management Studies, KISAT. So in this video, I'm going to do a book review. And the book that I'm going to talk about is one of the best works from Robert Cialdini, and the book is titled Influence, Science and Practice. So before going to the review part, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Manu Melvin Joy, who is a professor in my college, for introducing this book to me, because if not for his assignment, I would have never came across this wonderful piece of book. So thank you, sir, for suggesting this book to me. Before going to the review part of this book, let me introduce the author of this book, Robert Beno Cialdini. He is an American psychologist. He is a professor of psychology and marketing at Arizona State University. With more than 35 years of rigorous evidence-based research as well as intensive 3-year study on what moves people to change their behavior, he has been able to write this highly acclaimed book. I believe that in this book by Robert B. Cialdini is a must-read book that can be enjoyed by anyone irrespective of their age. This book explores the psychological processes and strategies used to persuade others to agree to something. It also demonstrates how to employ specific communication strategies to your advantage in negotiations or how to encounter them. But not only in a professional context. The content of this book is useful for all types of situations in which you interact with people, or even just process information that is brought to you with the intent of getting a certain reaction. It tells us about all the weapons of influence that the exploiters use against us in everyday life and how we don't even get a hint of it. So this book broadly discusses the 6 weapons of influence, namely reciprocation, communication consistency, then there is social proof, liking, authority, and the last one, scarcity. As Cialdini illustrates the 6 principles of influence, he provides wonderful examples from this one, advertising, psychology, and other fields of illustrate each principle in a compelling way, providing the latest research on influence in an accessible and compelling manner. We would be less vulnerable to manipulations from others if we understand these 6 principles better. So the 6 principles of influence are, so I'll give a brief about all the 6. So the first one is rule of reciprocation. People always have a tendency to return a favor. In other words, we should try to repay what another has given us in kind. This is the reason why free samples, are always really available in the market and advertising. So now let's move to the second one, which is commitment and consistency. In general, people are more likely to stay committed to ideas or goals if they commit verbally or in a written or in a word, if they are committed verbally or in writing. It doesn't matter if the original motivation or the incentive is removed after the agreement is already in place. They will still honor the agreement. So that is about the second point. Now the third one, which is social proof. We determine what is correct by finding out what other people think is correct, right? So people will do things that they see other people are doing. So the next one is liking. In most cases, in general, we are most likely to say yes to requests that are made by people we know and like. And the fifth one is authority. As a society, we have a deep obligation to those in possession of authority. And the last weapon of influence is scarcity. That is, something is more valuable when it is less available, right? For example, that is, saying offers are available for a limited time only encourages sales, right? So these are the 6 weapons of influence, and these 6 weapons, in my opinion, are really potent and can account for plenty of my own behaviors. It would be beneficial for all of us to commit these 6 principles to memory. They are quite strong despite their simplicity. And the best part of this book, what I felt, is that at the end of each chapter, the author has a section named How to Say No, in which he skillfully tells us how one can maneuver out of the tactics of these competent exploiters and think cognitively. In order to make decision, people always use a shortcuts, right, to simplify the process. and the scammers, advertisers, and also the salespeople know exactly how to take advantage of these facts. Therefore, we have to be alert to fully understand those shortcuts and, more importantly, to protect ourselves against them. And since they are inevitable. The finest thing about this book, what I felt in my opinion, is how readily readers will be able to apply the concepts of this book in their everyday life while reading it. It also shows how effectively salespeople and other exploiters use these weapons to manipulate others. In this book, we can learn concepts of market influence and how to recognize and use them for our own personal, professional, or corporate endeavors. An excellent examination of the ingrained patterns and the urges that lead people to say yes, along with the advices on how to recognize and steer clear of them. We all occasionally deceive ourselves in an effort to maintain our view and thoughts in line with the actions or decisions we previously made. This book is a great reminder to have to think for yourself, for sales and marketing to normal everyday interactions. This book informs you of the many pitfalls and traps in society, how to avoid them, and more importantly, how to be more humane, civil human being. A humble take on how to thrive in a professional sense in the modern times through building a career and a character as well. So, coming to the end portion, I recommend this book for anyone wishing to improve their lives or anyone looking for business or marketing tips. Believe me, it's truly a self-improvement book. Why? Because it deals with the great examples, lots of everyday related tips, easy to read and understand. You will be amazed how in everyday life you are easily influenced to so many things. Purposely, you will understand how many times you have been tricked by the marketeers and how to avoid it. As an example, we are manipulated to buy things that we actually don't need, right? Think about it. There are many fascinating and useful examples in this book about how others have a profound impact on our lives. I highly recommend Influence, Science and Practice as a worthy read. That will definitely save you from manipulations and will help you to influence others. By understanding how to influence others, we might in turn be able to influence them for the better. So thank you, that's all about the video. I hope you all enjoyed it and I do recommend Influence, Science and Practice. Do check it out.